In the opening scene of the movie, Kang is found unconscious with a head injury in her house. She wakes up and hears a scream, only to find her husband stabbed in the basement. Before she can process what's happening, her husband startles her and then dies. She desperately searches for her son, Yuji, and finds him, but he is suddenly pulled into darkness. When she tries to open the door, she discovers a wall of rock. Kang is later arrested for her family's murder. After 25 years in prison, she is released, but her health is deteriorating. As she returns home, she discovers blood in her cough and learns she has larynx cancer. Kang is then visited by a priest, Choi, who wants to know what happened that night, but she refuses to talk. The movie also shows a scene from the past with her kids playing video games. When the children return home in the evening, they are surprised to see the shop owner lady there. Their mother asks them to apologize and beg for forgiveness. During this, the lady feels something strange in that house. As she leaves, she tries to tell her something, but then she leaves. Later, Hyoj asks her if he prays hard, he won't die early like that. She reassures him that doctors are searching for a cure, and he will be cured soon. That night, her husband, Collie Jung, who is a cop, comes home drunk and she finds a lipstick mark on his shirt. When he tries to get close to her, she doesn't let him, which makes him very angry, and he starts abusing her before leaving the house. After some time, when Kang is sitting in her room, someone tries to open the door. She thinks it must be her children, but when no one answers, she goes to the door, and only then someone unlocks the door with a key. She tries to look outside, but sees no one, and suddenly someone attacks her. But before he can open the door, she attacks him with a scissor and drives him away. Ji-won sees someone outside his door, and he hides in a closet in fear. Hearing his scream, Kang runs to Hyo's room and asks him if he screamed. To which he says no. She then goes to Ji-won's room, who tells her that Hyo startled him. The next day, Chol-jun comes to the house with his team for an investigation, where an officer tells him that all the fingerprints are of his wife's. Kang tells the detective that it didn't feel like a human. Now, when the detective asks Hiatus what he saw last night, he says nothing. This frustrates Chol-jung and he yells at him, causing him to leave there. Kang then goes to him and asks him if he saw something, to which he gives her a note on which it was written that get out of this house, or the father will kill the child. She asks him who gave this to him, but he says nothing. When she returned from church, the shop lady stopped her and mentioned that she felt a negative energy at her house. She inquired if anything unpleasant had happened recently and recommended a feng shui expert. Kang contacted the expert, who was led by his compass to the basement. Suddenly, his locket pulled him towards a wall, where he heard eerie voices. Concerned, he suggested bringing in another expert or moving out. Kang was puzzled but agreed. Later, Kang brought the priest's choice to the basement, where she revealed that people had taken Hyoj. Investigating further, Choi discovered the house's dark history of a family disappearing in the 60s. Kang, sensing a presence, found two girls playing in the basement. Startled, she encountered a Japanese woman in a kimono with a knife. After a brief encounter, the woman vanished. She suddenly claims ownership of the house, causing Kang to panic and flee. The movie then flashes back to a shaman performing a ritual in the house, connecting with spirits who are still present. The shaman's daughter instructs Kang to close her eyes, and when she opens them, she is horrified to see an old man, a family, a woman, and a man before her. Overcome with fear, Kang screams and demands they stop. The shaman's daughter explains that the ritual must continue to avoid harm. Suddenly, everyone vanishes, and Kang urges them to leave. Later that night, Hyod returns home without Ji-won, and they search for him. Collie Jung is informed, and the search team discovers Gi-won's lifeless body. Collie Jung breaks down, blaming Hyod for the tragedy. Kang is devastated by Ji-won's death and struggles to accept his passing. Priest Choi's investigation reveals that in 1942, a Japanese shaman named Abeno came to Korea to build General Wadeb's residence, leading to a massacre. The reporter shares that similar disappearances occurred in 1967 and 1992, linking back to the house's dark history. The farmers' uprising against Japanese exploitation resulted in the mob targeting General Wade's residence, only to find it empty. Kang is warned by priest Choi about the strange occurrences in the house. She is shown the report detailing the missing people cases from the house, which occur every 25 years, and realizes that today is the day it happens again. Despite Father Choi's warning about the danger, she insists on staying. Late that night, she discovers the clock frozen at 11:11 p.m. and ventures into the basement, where she finds a mysterious door leading to a dark place. Upon returning, she is shocked to find her house unchanged from 25 years ago. As she encounters a familiar scene in her room, she is startled to see herself inside. Seeking solace in Hyod's room, she shares an emotional moment with him. When young Kane arrives, she hands him a note for his mother and locks the door. The truth is revealed about Chol Jun's encounter with Haya from the future, leading to a series of unsettling events. Kang is urged to leave by the Japanese woman and mother with 2 daughters, encountering an old man who turns out to be Hyoge. He presents her with a locket to prove his identity. Chol Jun's anger over Ji Wen's death led him to want to harm Hyoge. When Kang intervened to help, he accused her of planning to leave after causing his son's death. Despite her efforts to calm him down and Hyoge's attempt to intervene, Chol Jun attacked and knocked her down. Hyoge revealed that he had been waiting 75 years to meet her, and that everyone in the house was trapped in a timeless state. They were all unaware of each other, and every 25 years in November, time would slowly crack, fully opening on the 11th day, and mixing all timelines together. When she asked him what happened that day, he claimed that she had saved him, but she must not have because it was his fate to die that day. Her life was completely changed because of her, and he came here to tell her not to save him. As Chol Jung was about to harm Hyoge, he calls her mom for help and old Hyoge asks her not to go to save him, but she says that is her fate and leaves there saying she loves him. She then attacks Chol Jung and asks him to stop, but accidentally stabs him with the knife. Now, when the young king reaches there, the old king returns to her realm. But while leaving, she remembers that she had promised Hyoge that she would cure his disease. But in 1992, there was no cure for his disease, so she drags him inside so that he can be treated in 2017. After that, she introduces him to Hyoge, and when he shakes hand with him, he comes to know that the Father Choi is none other than his childhood friend Juno. Later, she tells Hyoge that at any moment now, she has to go away. Now when Choi is taking Hyoge from there, the officers stop him and ask him about the child, on which he tells them that he is Kang's son, who went missing 25 years ago, and after a long journey, he arrived from the past. We then come to know that Hyatt has a hereditary heart disease, and Kang had asked Choi to take him somewhere where he will be loved and treated. He takes him to Yoni, who is his childhood crush, and she was still wearing a necklace made of marbles given by him. Thank you for watching.